Hey everybody, it's Master Gallengeist here, bringing you my review of Iron Man 2020 Issue 2. And this was a great issue. I like how we just keep getting more information about what's going on. Now, granted, this is more from the side of Mark 1 in a good chunk of this issue, but we also see Arno making his moves. But the greatest part of it is we usually don't get his kind of side until he's ready to play his hand. So it's like, okay, this will be interesting. So the beginning of the issue kind of continues on with the robot rebellion thing going on. We see Stingray, who's we had previously seen pretty much been like beat to death from the defenders of the deep, going and trying to apprehend Captain Buccaneer, who's got like this crew of like robots that he's programmed to be his pirates. I don't really blame this one as one of the robot rebellion people was like, hey, we use this uninhibitor thing, you guys can come here. And it's like, I fucking hate that you programmed us to talk like pirates. And Captain Buccaneer's like, kind of sad. And then Stinger's like, yeah, I'm gonna punch you now. And then we shift over and we see that a group is testing a robot stability thing. They pretty much have a hockey stick and are pushing him over. Another one of the robot rebellions like pushes that dude over and takes the little robot with him. That was kind of cute. We shift over and we go to a car testing facility where they've got crash test dummies, which they have um, given the ability to have emotions, to have like the fear and stuff like that. I'm like, what? Why the fuck would you? Why would you fucking do that? I'm like, no, that's fucked up. So we see that Quasimodo and Herbie pop up. I'm like, that's kind of fucked up. I'm like, yeah. But then Quasimodo kind of like loses that ground and tries to toss the car at the people. Of course, Arno Stark pops up and like, you better get out of here. I at least have some regard to human life, as he's trying to attempt to fight them. And of course, we've got Herbie. I love his whole kind of spiel with how he's like talking to the crash test dummies, being like, yeah, we're here, and so come with me if you want to live, kind of stuff. I'm like, I really like what they've been doing with Herbie with this. I'm like, granted, it's little kind of things, and it's never kind of overblown. I just love when he like cameos up and they like do little cool things for him. So Arno pretty much damages the uninhibitor thing, and he's like, we got to get out of here. We came here to help these crash test dummies, not get them slagged. So they escape, but of course the one dude yelling at Arnold's like, yeah, the real Iron Man would have went after him. And he's like, dude, everything's cool, and there's something here that I can use. And this real Iron Man you're talking about was rash and impulsive and everything. And I'm like, yeah, he's kind of figuring out. It is interesting to see someone else doing Iron Man in different ways. It was interesting when we saw Riri Williams doing her Ironheart and everything, and it's interesting to see Tony's way of how he's doing things, and it's interesting to see how Arno is very meticulous. He does care about people, but he definitely puts his objectives first and goes with the ends justifying the means, especially in regards to this extinction level entity. So we're switching over and we see that he is using the uninhibitor. We see that his parents actually offer to help him out. He's like, oh yeah, I kind of cracked this hours ago. I'm just getting up the implications. If I use this correctly, I can pretty much have any AI work in tandem with us and control them. It's like, oh shit. And the parents are like, would that wouldn't mean us, would it? And that kind of look, Arno, it's really weird. Arno really doesn't have, he does have animosity towards the parents for what occurred to him, because he probably thinks, and rightfully so, that his parents should have tried harder to not have him locked away, essentially in a tube for much of his life. But I don't think he is at least acting on a kind of thing to actively hurt people like that. He wants to minimize hurt, but he is not above doing hurting to get to an objective. As we see, as everybody's kind of like, all right, what's going on with this? So we get to the Robot Rebellion and we see that Mark 1 is kind of like going through all of his stuff. He's got messages from Janet, Cabe, Potts, Riri Williams, and Rhodey, and it's cool to see all of them worried about him and wanting to help him. And Rhodey's like, pick up the phone and call my ass, you asshole. And Riri's like, yeah, we really want to help you and everything. And they're kind of more supportive messages. And we find out here that Mark 1 has been making everybody believe that Tony's fallen off the wagon when in actuality he hasn't drank at all. I'm like, I like that. It's an underhanded move on Mark 1's part, but it's a tactical decision that really helps keep him out of the public focus and lets him lead the AI rebellion. And of course, even Machine Man's like, yeah, that's kind of a dick move, but it computes. And then of course they get a emergency transmission from the Ghost in the Machine, who I hope we learn some more information about. But we see that Andy has been wanting to get in touch with Yokasta, and that Bane and Arno let him, and that Arno has used what he has learned from the Uninhibitor to make her completely have a sole purpose to serve. And Bane asks her to do a ballet thing, and she starts doing it. This, of course, pisses off Machine Man. I'm like, that's not an overreaction. I'm completely with you there. And that he's ready to kind of push that out throughout the internet to control all the AI. And I'm like, ooh, that is definitely a Doctor Doom kind of plan. And it's pretty damn effective. I'm like, damn, shit. So, Mark 1 gathers everybody together. Of course, the Ghost in the Machine's like, good luck with that, because that's about as much as I can give you at the moment. And they come up with the idea to do a heist and essentially break into Bane Tower and reprogram it, reconfigure it before it gets sent out. Of course, Mark 1 would be leading, because that's one of the intel pieces that he would have to sacrifice, as well as sacrificing the intel of the 13th floor. Now, granted, they get the whole plan out there, but right when they try and get some more reinforcements, the 13th floor doesn't work. Arno figured that out during the hospital thing and renumbered all the floors, and I'm like, god damn, because Herbie was trying to do some stuff like, crap, and their team that was going in to like reconfigure the OS, their dude gets infected, and it's like, oh god, that's not good. And it comes down to just Mark 1 and Quasimodo, and Quasi gets like buzzed out, and Arno comes in and be like, yeah, I pretty much got you. And he's like, oh, you didn't have that. It was just a bluff to get a trap. He's like, no. And I did everything, and I'm stopping this robot rebellion right here. It's like, oh shit. And they're pretty much getting ready to clash. And I love seeing their armors, and I just was like, all right, hopefully we get to see them in action to see how they kind of stack up. Because, of course, Mark 1's is more kind of like the original armor that Tony built in Captivity, and of course Arno's is like the newest hotness and everything. So it'll be interesting to see how they kind of like clash out, and if Mark 1 is able to stop this, or if Arno was truthful in what was going on, but yet there could be some unforeseen complications that he might not know about. So I really enjoyed this issue, and I can't wait to see what's going on next. Arno is a very interesting character in how he approaches Iron Man, and I'm really excited to kind of see how this goes and where this extinction level entity thing's gonna shake out. So those are my opinions on the issue. Tell me what you guys think in the comments below. If you liked it, if you didn't like it, if you agree with me, if you disagree with me. Also, like and subscribe, and I hope you have a good day.